Well, hello. Welcome back. Hey, isn't this fun? We're getting like all kinds of videos. It's going to have to slow down a little bit and we're running out of material. But I did pick this up a while back. It's the Iron Butterfly Inagata Vita by Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. They reissued this. So I was really interested in it. And you get the nice inner sleeve, nice record. I did try to see through it. It's not that fancy vinyl. They're only putting it on there one step. They can't afford to do it on these records. And I compared it to my first edition Japanese pressing. Okay, so this MoFi is not a gatefold. It's a single cover. It's pretty thick. It's not really super thick, but it's thick, you know. Just a regular cover, nothing shiny, nothing fancy about it at all. And then you go back. This is like 50 years now. This record came out. This is a 50-year-old record here from Japan, and embossed cover. I shouldn't say embossed. I should say it's laminated cover. It's a gatefold cover. Just black on the back, and well, they've got this on the inside of the gatefold instead of putting it on the back of the record. And so it's got all the lyrics on the inside of the gatefold as well. Really nice record. Really nice and thick. This is just as thick as that MoFi cover. Plus you got this extra. And what's really pretty about this record is it's on that green Atlantic label, so you know that's a first edition. And now, as probably a lot of you folks out there, I really love this record. I think it's really good. I just love the guitar and the organs and all that stuff. They really did it. It's a psych record, more or less, because of the way it's recorded. It's got a lot of echo, and it's got a lot of reverb. It's got a lot of cool stuff in it. And I would say probably 30 years ago, I bought the CD when it came out. And the CD was recorded where they removed a lot of that echo, a lot of that reverb. And there's certain parts when he's singing that he kind of shouts it out, and there's an echo in the background. Well, on the CD, they had removed that echo for whatever reason, the way they did remastered it, and it was like a dropout in the recording. And my friend at the time, Gordy, would listen to it, and he said, "How can you listen to that? It's horrible what they've done to that recording." Because, you know, us older people, we heard that on the radio. We've listened to that song 100 times, 1,000 times. We know it. And then when they butcher it up, it's easy to tell. So, and then it was probably 25 years ago or so, I got the yellow Octaco. I never did get a first U.S. pressing of the record. I got the yellow Octaco. That didn't sound very good at all. And then I got like a second or third edition Japanese pressing. That still was better, but it still was lacking. And so I sought out the first edition, and this one does sound really good. Now, is this a great choice for a reissue because it's got just a fantastic master tape? No, this record never did sound fantastic. It was just an old psych record. They never really did do a great job of recording it, I don't think. But this is the best I could find. So, and what I'm basically saying is it still needs a little bit of help. So I was really interested to find out what those folks could do, because I'm still in love with this 2LP 45 RPM that they did, and it was just such a revelation from the Columbia 2i, which was the first edition of the record. It just sounded 2-3 levels above. Everything was better about it, and so that really made me happy with MoFi. So, but now, after comparing my original Canadian press to their 2LP 45 RPM stuff here, I'm not so impressed anymore, because it's not levels above. It's a little bit here and a little bit there and a nuance here and a nuance there. Yeah, it's better, but my goodness gracious, this is a $50 record, and it's a 45 RPM on 2 LPs, but remastered in 2019. So this should be a lot better, in my opinion. But it is what it is. We're getting what we're getting, right? I don't know what they did here, but they don't seem to be being able to reproduce that upgrade in fidelity in the last few records that I've got. And so, I was really interested to see what they could do with this. And when I listened to it, it's worse than that CD. It's the same thing. There's they cut all the reverb out of it. I shouldn't say all of it, but 90% of the reverb and the echo, all that stuff's gone. And he shouts out the song, and there's that big dropout in there. It sounds like they just used the CD master or something. I don't know what they did, but they said they got. I'll read it on the back here. Mastered by Krieg Wunderlich at Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, using the Gain 2 Ultra Analog system. And then it says pressed on 180 gram high definition vinyl. Well, it's sure not that super vinyl. That would have been really nice, but they didn't bother to spend the extra couple of dollars on to make it on that. Production by Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. And I've got number 192. So there's no excuses because it's been pressed too much. And this is something that's puzzled me. I don't understand what this is. Maybe someone can clarify it. But on the bottom right corner it says Atlantic Recording Corporation, produced under license from Atlantic Recording Corporation. Well, that's who owns the tape, right? Atlantic. Now it says manufactured by Rhino Entertainment Company, a Warner Music Company, 2019 Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. I mean, you tell me what that means, because I'm just reading it. I know what it says to me, but it doesn't make sense. Okay, so where does it say half-speed mastered or anything on here? No, it says they got the, it says somewhere in there where they got the master tape. They got the master tape and they remastered it. No half speed, no nothing, just they remastered it. And then they want to charge you $35, and they're all gone because they didn't make hardly any. Maybe it's because they realized how horrible this record sounds that they just made a few and that was it. Because they really like making records, these folks. And they sold out right away. I had to pay more than $35 for this record because I got it off of I think it was eBay or somewhere, and they're all gone. So you can't buy them for $35 anymore. They're 50, 60, 70, they're going up. So regardless, and here's part of the problem, because it's got original master recording on there. This is a MoFi. I'll just wait 6 months, put it on eBay. I'll get $100 for this record, and it's horrible sounding. It's like they threw a blanket over the speakers. It's all the high end's gone. And they turn up that EQ and make a little bit more bass on there, but it's not tuneful or better bass. It's just more of it. So yeah, this record is not good. So I was kind of wondering, well, who's doing this? Who's this Ken Wunderlich guy? Krieg Wunderlich. What's his deal? So I started looking at all the different records. Guess who remastered this? Yeah, Krieg Wunderlich. Who remastered all these records right here? Who's doing all their stuff? Pardon me. Krieg Wunderlich. So, I don't know what's going on, or because, I love this record. Now, here's a little more interesting story about MoFi I'll share with y'all. In 2008, a fella named Sean R. Britton, he was the guy that was doing their mastering over at, he was doing the half-speed mastering. And they put out the first two Santana records. They put this one out and Abraxas. And it said, it looks just like this, but it wasn't at 2LP 45 RPM. It was a single record, 33 half-speed mastered. That was in 2008 by Sean R. Britton. And in 2008, I went to Exponia in Jacksonville, and I went into a room, and it was just me and a couple, the two guys that were showing up, and they had a really nice hi-fi gear in there. And they played a song, and I turned around, talked to the guys. I said, wow, this sounds really great and whatever. And, I wasn't familiar with the music they were playing. And I happened to look down at their records, and I saw this. The 2008 version. They had just bought it because Music Direct was down in the lobby of the hotel. They were selling records down there. That's what they do at those shows. And I said, hey, why don't you play that one? I want to get that. They said, no. I go, what do you mean it's a MoFi? What are you talking about? It doesn't sound good at all. I said, how can that be? How can that not sound great? They said, we don't know what they're doing over there, but it's not good. I said, I was really wanting to buy that. There's nobody here. Can you put it on for a second? So I think they did. We listened to it, and I said, yeah, you're right. What happened to all the music's gone? Because I had a Columbia 2i of that record. And so that was in 2008. And I had complained to MoFi about that. If you watch this video I did call a MoFi, and I was complaining about some other records that I had bought from them that didn't sound good. And it wasn't long after all this, Sean R. Britton doesn't work for MoFi anymore. Now they've got Krieg Wunderlich. And he's not doing any half-speed mastering because Stan Ricker did all their half-speed mastering. And if you look at the catalog, the bulk of all the great records that were ever done by MoFi was done by him. Now he's passed away. They don't know how to do half-speed mastering or whatever. I don't know, because this Sean R. Britton, he had a hard time to do it. And now Krieg's not doing it. What's he doing? He's doing these 45 RPMs. He's doing this stuff. Right? He's doing this. What's the point of doing this? The Octaco, Yellow Octaco, probably sounds better than this record. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. But what it does have, of course, it's got the quiet background. It's got the nice, MoFi mastering where they make the records quiet and nice, but there's no fidelity on the record, in my opinion. Somebody decided that all that echo and reverb and all that stuff on the record was bad. I mean, that's what makes that record good. And, the back and forth stuff on it, all that stuff's good. And they took it all off. Most of it off. So, yeah, I like this record. I guess that's about sums it up. So, we'll have to see what's forthcoming from MoFi and even the One Step. I mean, I was expecting more from the record. And I guess we're as close as you can get to the master tape according to MoFi. But I'm excited about what Kevin Gray's doing over at Coherent Audio. and I'm going to pick up a couple more of his records, and I'm going to do my next video. We'll get into that type of we'll get into that more about remastering in the year 2020 and what should we expect. Hello, yeah. Before you go, I'm going to leave a link to the video that I made about this record when it came out a few years ago, and I really get into more details about all the communications and whatever I had with Mobile Fidelity back in the day, about the issues that I had with them. So, and I really do like that video that I made of this record a few years back. So I'm going to put a link to that below, so y'all can have a quick access to go have a look at it if you want to do that, if you haven't seen it. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was, putting a like on the video is very important to YouTube. It's not so important to me because I know y'all like the videos, but if you don't put a like on there, YouTube doesn't realize that a lot of people like the video, and when the more likes, this is what I found out, the more likes a video has, it's just only common sense, the more likes it has, the more likely that YouTube is going to put it in their rotation for more people to see, because they want to share popular videos, put popular videos in people's news feeds so that they can be more popular. More people watch YouTube, they watch good videos. So if y'all want to help the channel like that and put a like on there, that would be fantastic. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.